And away we go. We drew straws out in the lobby, and Mesa, you drew the short one. So you're up first, and your choice was to talk about standing there for the penalty kick less than 10 minutes into the game, and almost 2,000 people on the edge of their seats waiting to see if you could give Montana the lead. What was that moment like, and where does that rank the aftermath of scoring and your experiences of college soccer?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal. I had kind of talked about it with a few of our players at practice the day before, just said, I feel like there's going to be a PK tomorrow. So I was kind of in the mindset that could happen, and I stay after every day and hit a few and just make sure I place it where I want them to go in case something like this were to happen. And so I felt like I was pretty prepared, although nothing can really recreate that atmosphere that we were in. So besides having all of the fans, I didn't want to disappoint any of them or my teammates, but fortunately I did what I do at practice and I made it, so that was good.
For both Mesa and Delaney, through 4 games, the offense seems like it's kind of there right now. Like last couple of years, it's been a very defensive team here at Montana, but now the goals are starting to come. For both of your perspectives, what's working? Why have the goals kind of been coming in flux so far?
Yeah, I think we just have a confidence right now that we're willing to turn and face players up. Our younger players are now starting to get to the end of their careers. They're more tenured in the program. So I think because of that, we just have a little bit more of a relentlessness to us. We don't have anything to lose when we play teams like this. So knowing that mindset going into a game, we're a lot more mature in that sense.
I agree. I also think that we like to talk about pressing as one whole unit together. So when one of us presses, we go together, and we go just as hard as every other person. So honestly, I kind of get when Mesa, you see her going ham across the field, attacking I want to say the goalie yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do the exact same thing just for her and just for my team. So it's that kind of heart that I would say our whole team has that makes us really relentless and hard to beat.
I think, Chris, that you've had some time to digest the game. Just what can you say about the atmosphere against Ohio State and just the game itself? Because, that second half, you guys kind of really took over. A couple things changed, and you guys win that game. Just what can you say about that game and that atmosphere yesterday?
Yeah, if you look at school like ours in this setting, I really feel like Missoula is a college soccer hotbed, and this should be a place where tons of people show up and tons of people watch us play. There is an underbelly and an undercurrent of a lot of people who love the sport here, and having them all come out yesterday and see that atmosphere and allowing them to feel it was one of the best things I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of. And also want to give a shout out to everybody who actually made that happen. So including all the people who are behind the scenes now doing the tech for us. I thought they did a great job. Ace on the call I thought was awesome, and then everybody in ticketing and marketing that put this whole thing together, because it was calamitous to make it work. And of course fears of turning people away and how it was going to happen, just so they could step out and enjoy it. I thought the whole thing worked out perfectly.
Chris, you guys gave up the back-to-back goals pretty quickly going to half. You guys were down 2-1.
That was all part of the plan, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say,
Entertainment, yeah.
What was your message to the team at half?
Yeah, there was a period of the first half, we're down 2-1, and Eliza jumps out and presses a little early, which rushes them playing out of the back, and I just took that as a trigger of, if we can force them to play out of the back quicker so they didn't have so much time on the ball just swinging it, building up slowly to then play the through balls. If we can rush them in that phase, we should cause more turnovers. If the game becomes messier, we can start controlling it better. And that was kind of the message of, if we just keep going, we'll be fine, but we have to disrupt their level of play at some point, and that's what we tried to do, and we did it well, and ultimately led to goals.
So it wasn't your plan to put on one of the most dramatic soccer games I've ever seen in front of the largest crowd?
Yeah, that was it, yep. That's what we wanted. We talked, go up 1-0, let them score twice, and then we'll come back. And then we'll try to win it at the end. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Perfect script.
Yes.
For both players, you guys, go to football games, you see the support, basketball and stuff. To have that for you guys, how much did you feel it? What was that like, and how much, would you want that to continue?
Yeah, no, I think it means the world to everyone, and it just goes to show what having people at our games can really do and how good we can be. And it makes me want to give back to other athletes and other people in the program. I want to go to the volleyball games immediately now. I want all the other teams to have the support that we had last night because it makes the experience so much better.
I definitely say I would have to agree. Griz Nation is so close, and I even went to the volleyball game, and it's really cool just kind of seeing friends and teammates and fellow athletes coming to our games, supporting just like we do for them. And I have to say, all the people that showed up, it was thrilling, and it was like no other.
I'm sure Chris will get you guys on track, but how do you make sure, you said still on the high, but how do you make sure that you, get back after it when it's, not a primetime game against a Power 5 school at home?
I think it's kind of like playing in a game. You can't hold on to your mistakes. You have to kind of say next play. So in this case, next game. Like, I'm already looking at Utah Tech and how we can advance there and all that kind of stuff. So next game.
So I guess I'll start with Delaney and I'll go to Mesa. So I guess coming off the high, now you guys are starting classes. I did want to ask about the student part of it first, Delaney. What is it like right now going to classes on this Monday after coming back from a record-breaking night?
I'm not going to lie, it feels really weird because I've been here for, I think, like a month or so just doing soccer, and part of me honestly forgot that, oh yeah, I have classes and I have to go to these classes. But honestly, being back, and I even walked to class today, I was like, oh, I'm back to my regular schedule. School's going to happen, soccer's going to happen, and I'm going to be able to balance both, just getting back to it.
Mesa, how about you on that matter?
Yeah, the two professors that I'm TAing for were probably both annoyed with me. I was like, so did you come to the game last night? I don't even know if they knew I was on the soccer team, but they do now. So, yeah, it's just getting back in the swing of things. We're definitely more in a routine, and it'll take a little bit getting used to. I know last night, the last place I wanted to go was school. I was like, I have to go to school tomorrow? I feel like it should just be a soccer day. Like, it's a soccer weekend. But, no, I'm getting more routine, and, yeah, I'm excited for the school year.
And Chris, I guess you don't have to go to school, so I'll ask you about the next game because that's almost like the next class. But I guess I wanted to ask you, coming off this night and now going on a road trip, I guess what is your prep kind of looking like, and how are you looking to face these next few opponents? Because Ohio State, of course, is not your last Power 5 opponent you'll face in a non-conference schedule. So how are you prepping for that right now?
Yeah. Playing two teams with new coaches, right? So Molly Rouse had left Utah Tech, and Lexi Brown is there now, and then Oklahoma had a coaching change as well. So it's not what I'm used to seeing over there. So it's rewatching all the film, getting used to what's new, and then putting a plan together that we can put into action start Wednesday. Tomorrow is more of a lighter-hearted session because it has to be, especially during the first week of school. Everything becomes a little overwhelming, so we'll enjoy ourselves a little bit tomorrow. Talk a couple other things, and then start prepping seriously on Wednesday to play Thursday.
I was going to follow up on that, Chris, I guess. So what's kind of like the travel plan this week? Do you guys leave Wednesday? Like, how do you guys kind of prep for like this road trip where, you play two games in the same place, which has to be nice, but how do you guys kind of prepare now that school's here?
Yeah, what's unique about this one, only being 3 hours away, instead of leaving on a Wednesday and coming back on a Sunday night, we're going to leave Wednesday midday. We'll play Thursday. We're going to be back home by Thursday night, and then go to school Friday, train here Saturday, leave Saturday afternoon, and play Sunday and come back Sunday night. So, yeah, we're going to split it up, and that allows us to even rotate the squad if we have to between games, depending on what happens in the first one. So,
Through 4 games, just what have you liked from this group so far? Because you mentioned when you did media before the season even started, you guys were looking for firepower. Last year kind of fueled you a little bit. Have you liked so far? Have they kind of checked every box so far?
The box that they're checking the most right now is the mental side of the game, where you've got to be able to mentally compete, overcome mistakes. And when you get into big situations like yesterday, which is don't become emotional about the crowd, don't become emotional about playing a high-level team. I don't want to be a mid-major that's trying to step up to a Power 5, because every time we do that, we become emotional about things, and we try too hard, and when you try too hard, things don't work out. So the message was, just do what we always do. Do your job, maintain your composure, maintain your competitiveness, and you definitely have the ability. And if you bring all three things, then we should have a chance in competing in this game. And that's what they did extremely well, and that's what they've been doing the whole time.
Mason, when Ohio State scored those back-to-back goals, it was the first time this season you've been down. As somebody who's been around soccer now in her 5th year, how do you think the team handled that? Was it adversity, or was it just we just keep playing?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a situation we haven't been in yet, like you had said, and I think we dealt with it very well. Fortunately, we had halftime right behind us there, so we were able to go in there and kind of regroup. I know one of the first things said was like, we don't need any negative talk right now. We're going to go out there. We're going to play the way we were playing because it was good and it was working. We fixed a few things in our press, and yeah, I don't think going down 2-1 really impacted anyone, which is really exciting because now we know if we get in that situation again, we can come back. And honestly, I think if there would have been an overtime period like there used to be, I think we would have come away with like winning that game.
Good. Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.